Yes, hello, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. How are you all? My name is Yogesh, and we are doing Standard 11th Statistics. Yes, we have completed chapter number 3 till now. It was a very lengthy chapter and one of the important chapter of your 11th standard. We have 9 chapters in a row. Okay, now we are going to start the first chapter. Yes. So we are going to start this collection of data. The day when I'm recording this lecture, I got an update from yesterday. There was update from government that some portion is reduced due to this pandemic. That means some portion will not be included in your exams. I have a list of the portion which is not included in the exam. You can see here the portion is given in Gujarati, but it is applicable to us also. I'll give you the brief discussion of chapter number 3 or chapter number 4 or about the portion that which things are not included here. But as far as my first chapter is concerned, which is my today's topic, so that topic, as you can see, that it is fully included in the syllabus. So whatever I'm doing in this first chapter, I'll complete it as a whole. Okay, you can see here, first chapter, it is fully included. Now, what the first chapter is about? The first chapter is about the collection of data. See, this full chapter is related to theory part. It is not practical at all. Okay, this is full theory. We'll explain you that what is the statistics, how the statistics came from, what is the data, what is the bifurcation of data. After the collection of data, what is the system? Okay, so we all that thing we'll discuss today in this lecture. So let us start with the first heading, that is origin and growth of statistics. Okay, what we had done? Origin and growth of statistics. That means from where this statistics came from. From where the statistics came from. Now, see, Indian contribution. See, I'm reading it line by line. Why? Because when you solve the exercise or when you find the answers of the questions given in exercise, you can easily find it out when you have studied line by line. Okay, so we'll go one by one. What is the discussion? Indian contribution in the field of statistics have been quite significant from the time of Mauryan Empire. The book N. I. Akbari, written by Abu Fazl during the time of Mughal Emperor Akbar, that is 1596-1597 AD, also mentions a highly developed statistical system for administrative and revenue service of the Mughal Empire. So they are telling that this particular system is from the Mughal Empire, okay, from so many years. The German word statistics was first used by Gottfried Eckenwall in 1749 for the analysis of the data about the state. So these things, which we call today as a statistics, was from so many years, but the name which we know as that statistics was first used by Gottfried Eckenwall in 1749. The contribution to statistics prior to 1750 were basically made on the example of data analysis without any use of explicit probabilistic ideas. So this was from many years, but it was like just to analyze the data, nothing more than that. By 18th century, the term statistics was used for systematic collection of data. Now, what is this data collection? This data collection is simply, if I tell you that you just go and find the age of your classmate, or you can say find the birth date of your classmates. Yes. Now, in your class, suppose there are 40 students, and you will find the birth rate of all the 40 students. That means you are collecting some data, that is information. Now this information can be collected in a systematic way. Statistics was formally introduced in Encyclopedia Britannica in 1797. So this is how the statistics came into usual life of a human. The initial results on the probability theory were found in 17th and 18th century, whose two giants were Laplace and Gauss. The first statistical body, that is Royal Statistical, was found in 1834 in London. One or two line questions will be asked from this kind of paragraph, that who first introduced, who was the initial probabilitical theory, or where from which year statistic was framed, or you can say who first used these statistics, like that some questions can be formed. The advanced field of statistics was developed in late 19th and early 20th century. Galton and Carl Pearson used mathematical statistician in science, industry, and politics. So they used statistics everywhere. Okay. The Carl Pearson was the founder of the mathematical statistician. So if someone asks you that who was the founder of statistics, mathematical statistics, you can say Carl Pearson. He founded the Advanced Statistical Laboratory in England, and in 1911 the world's first university statistics department at University College London. In 1910 and 1920, Gossett and Fisher initiated to develop modern statistical science for the data having small samples. So after this year, that is 1910 and 1920, these two people initiated and developed the modern statistical science. Fisher applied statistics to a variety, to a diversified fields such as genetics. Now they have taken statistics to the another level. They have applied statistics to this genetics, biometry, psychology, education, agriculture, and this kind of thing. He is well known as the father of statistics. So now, who is the father of statistics? Fisher. Father Fisher is the father of statistics. During 1930, the refinement and expansion of the earlier development was found in the collaborative work between E. Pearson and J. Neyman. Advanced method of statistics were developed day by day after that. So they are just giving you the highlight that from where statistics came from, who found it, how they implemented statistics in many kind of areas. Okay, so this is the use of statistics. Now this was the global picture of statistics, that is history of statistics. Now we are doing the domestic, that is Indian growth of statistics. The Indian Statistical Institute. Okay, there is an Indian Statistical Institute in India. Was founded by well-known Indian statistician P.C. Mahalanobis in 1931 at Calcutta. So in Calcutta, 1931, this person P.C. Mahalanobis, who is Indian statistician, he founded the ISI, that is Indian Statistical Institute. He started the first postgraduate course in statistics at Calcutta University in 1941. The government had approved the national sample survey proposed by Mahalanobis in 1950, and the first round of data collection took place in October 1950. Indian Agriculture Statistics Research Institute. So now they have applied this statistics in agriculture also. So they formed an institute, that is Indian Agriculture Statistic Research Institute. Is another institute which contributed a lot in the development of statistics in India. In 1935, W.F. Wilcox listed over 100 different definitions of statistics based on the meaning, scope, and limitation of the definition of statistic according to Croxon and Cowden is as under. Now, what is the definition of statistics? Let us do the definition. Statistics is the science which deals with the collection. So there are three parts which I'll make in the definition, and I'll explain you what actually the statistics is. Yes, we have solved a full chapter of statistics, but today I'll give you the brief that what actually the statistics. So statistics is the science which deals with the collection, analysis, and interpretation of the numerical data. So all these things are divided into three parts. Collection. As I told you that you have to collect the birth date of your classmates. You have to collect the birth date of your classmates. So the first part is the collection. What you will do, you will take the page, you will write serial number like this: 1, 2, 3, 4. Suppose in your class there are 50 students, so you will make a list: 1, 2, 3, 4, 50, like this. You will make a list. Then what you will do? Then you will write the name here, and you will go to each and every student and you will ask the birth of date. Sorry, it's date of birth. So I have made a list like this. Okay, we'll write name here and date of birth. This is the collection of the data. Second part is the analysis. When you'll write the date of birth, you'll come to know that who is elder, who is younger, okay, who is born in this year, who is born in the previous year, who is born in the next year. So you will come to know about some analysis, okay, that what actually that means. Then interpretation. Interpretation is the same thing that you'll come to know that how it is says. There is one more part in the statistics which is known as a presentation. What presentation is? That you will present this same data in another form. We can make a form like this, that in January how many birthdays are there? Suppose in January 3 birthdays are there. In Feb we'll present like 5 birthdays are there. This is another way of presentation, this list of 50. Now in January, if 3 birthdays are there, whose 3 birthdays? This is the presentation of data. So basically, statistics is what? Statistic is the science which deals with the collection, analysis, interpretation of the numerical data. So we'll collect the data, we'll analyze it, and we'll interpret it. Okay. Nowadays, statistics is not only useful for the quantitative data, but also for the qualitative data. We don't only deal with the numbers, but we deal with the values also. Considered as an independent part of a scientific method. Industrial statistics and a branch of statistics, operational research, was used in a military project during the Second World War. In India, OR came into existence in 1949 with opening of an OR unit. OR is an operational research which is dealing with the data, but that is a bit different system what you are understanding. Okay, so this operational research came into 1949 with opening of an OR unit, regional research laboratory for national planning and survey at ISI, that is Indian Statistical Institute, Calcutta. PC Mahalanobis formulated the second 5-year plan with help of OR techniques. OR techniques can also be useful for government to maximize the per capita income. So you can say that where this OR techniques can be used, so it can be used for the government to maximize the per capita income with the minimum resources. In the industry to decide the optimum allocation of the various resources such as man, machine, etc. In marketing to decide the size of stock to meet the future. Thus, considering the use of statistics in the recent times, its importance cannot be. Now, statistics can be is used in each and everything. Okay, in each and everything, in each and every field, you can take science field, you can take commerce field, or you can say any field statistics is used. Okay, now IPL is trending. Okay, when an IPL is going on, na? I think so. Yes. If any batsman came and you can see that when he comes to the ground, then a tab opens. What this that tab says? That tab says that he has played this much matches. he has done this much runs, he has total 50s are this hundreds are these numbers, but his strike rate is so and so. So a tab opens. Now just visualize how they made that tab. Firstly, they have collected the data. That means they have kept the record of that batsman from the very first match. Okay, suppose Mr. A or suppose Virat Kohli had played hundreds of matches. His record was kept from the first match when he played. That in first match Kohli made this much runs, second match this much runs, third match this much runs. Now that is a part of another collection of the data. The very first thing, collection. After the collection, analytics were made. Like how these things are done. Analytics and interpretation. That means how this much 50s are this much 100 are that in this much matches he had done 0 runs. That is part of analytical interpretation. Then the part is presentation. That presentation part is that tab you are seeing. You see the presentation that yes, wow, he made this much matches, he made this much run. This is a strike rate. So you see the ready-made thing presentation. Okay, there is a lot of process in that tab. That process, everything is statistics. When you play with the data, that is statistics. So statistics in each and everything statistics is there. Okay, so now this data what I'm talking about, information what I'm talking about, this information can be categorized in two things, that is quantitative data and qualitative data. So let us start from here. Meaning and differences in statistics, a group of all units under study is called a population. When I tell you that in your class 50 students are there, so that 50 students are known as a population. Okay, that 50 students are known as a population. For example, to study the standard of living of a worker of a factory, a group of all worker of factory becomes a population for this study. The total number of unit contained in the population is called the size of population. The total number of unit contained in the population is called size of population. If total number of population is finite, say n, we call it a finite population. So as I told you that number of students are 50. If it is countable, we can call it as finite. For example, if 700 workers work in a factory, then for population n is equal to 700, and we shall call such population as finite population. A set or a group of units selected from the population on the basis of some definite criterion is called a sample. Now what happens? It is sometimes it's not possible to collect all the data. Okay. If I tell you to collect the data and suppose the mass is of 1,000 people, it is not possible that you go to the 1,000 people and you start surveying. Okay, what you have to do, you have to select the sample. That means you can't go and ask 1,000 people about the habit nature. If I tell you to find the habit of the people in Gujarat, that in Gujarat how people are habituated about food, about dress up, about costumes, or some other things. If I tell you to find the habit of the people, then it is not possible to go and ask each and every person. What you have to do, you have to take some persons from that. Suppose you go to some area, an area thousands of people live, you will ask only 50 100 people, which is convenient for you. So we do sampling in every way. In every way we do the sample. Okay, if you go in a store, sweet shop, and if you want to buy some kaju katri or some other sweet, then what you will do, you will take a sample and a taste. So from that particular thing you come to know that nah, this is a very good sweet. Okay, so sampling is everywhere. The same logic applies here also. If you want to know how 1,000 people works, you will ask 50 people that how is the working system, and you will estimate that 1,000 people work like in this way. Okay, so that is sampling, as I told you. So a set or a group of units selected from the population on the basis of some definite criteria is called sample. And number of units in the sample is termed as a sample size. For example, if we select 150 workers from the above population of worker, now in a factory I am selecting 150 workers by any statistical method, then group of selected worker is called sample. See, total there are 700 workers in a factory. What I am doing, I am selecting only 150 workers. So this total is always n, and this is small n, that is sample. Okay, big N is population, small n is sample. A unit selected in a sample is called a sample unit. The selected worker here are considered as a sample units. Inspection of all units of the population or of the sample is done for the statistical study of a problem covering different aspects. The set of the observation obtained by such inspection is called the data. As I told you that if you will write each and everything, the information which you are collecting is a data. Okay. Then the units of the population or sample possess different type of characteristics. It is possible that measurement of a characteristic varies from unit to unit. Such characteristic of a unit is called the variable characteristic. It can be either numerical or non-numerical. Now what this thing is, the unit of population possesses different type of characteristics. Now it is I told you an example of marks of the student that you collect and go and you see in which class how many students are having what marks out of 50. Suppose some is having 20, some is having 30, and I told you to collect the data, so that marks is in the number. Now it's not necessary that I ask you to collect the data which is in numbers. I told you to collect the birth date. Birth date is in the number. Now sometimes it happens that I tell you to collect the data which is not in numbers. Okay, if I tell you to collect the data that which student likes which color, which is the favorite color of the student, red, orange, green, yellow, blue, black. Okay. Now the main factor, that is color, favorite color, is not in number. It is the variable. So the unit of population possesses different type of characters. If the possible that measurement of characters variable unit, such characters called variable characters. It can be either numerical or non-numerical. So some variables are numerical and some are non-numerical. If the variable characteristic is non-numeric, then it is known as a qualitative variable. As I told you that this thing is a qualitative variable. We shall call such qualitative characteristic as an attribute. What is this attribute? This attribute is the qualitative characteristic. That means non-numerical thing. Okay. The collection of the observation on the attribute is called the qualitative data. Now, if the variable characteristic is numerical, then it is called a numeric variable, and the collection of the observation numerical variable is called the quantitative data. So when it is about marks, but date, score, and some other things which is in numbers, it is in quantitative data. In the above example, data related to the attributes like gender of the worker, their education level is called the qualitative data. So what are the example of qualitative data? Gender of the worker. What are the gender of worker? Male, female. So male, female is a quality. Education level: 10th pass, 11th pass, 12th pass, graduate, postgraduate, masters. Okay. And the data related to the numeric variable like monthly income of the worker, their age is called the quantitative. Okay, now if you talk about the monthly income, 1000, 2000, 5000, 10,000, 50,000, that income is in numbers. Their age, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, whatever the age is, quantitative data. Thus, we shall say that qualitative characteristics simply can be observed but cannot be measured on a scale. So, what is to be done? That qualitative characteristics simply can be observed but cannot be measured on a scale, while quantitative characteristic can be measured on a scale. Example: income in a rupee, age in years. Other example could be information related to characteristic like religion, vegetarian or non-vegetarian, education are called as qualitative data. So there are more examples to the qualitative: religion, vegetarian, whether you are vegetarian or non-vegetarian, education level. Whereas the information related to characteristic like profit of a company, cost of advertising is called in quantitative data. So these are the example of quantitative and qualitative data, so that you can understand it well, that which is known as a quantitative, which is known as qualitative. Okay. Now when I told you about the collection of data, the data obtained by any statistical inquiry must be correct and proper, otherwise no useful and valid conclusion can be drawn. Whatever data you are collect should be true. Okay. Otherwise, what is the motive of collecting the data? What is conclusion? The data can be primary or secondary. They have divided data into two things, primary and secondary. What is primary data? The data originally collected by any authorized agency or investigators for the first time. So the main thing is this: when you go and collect the data for the first time, the very first time you are going and collecting the data, that data is known as a primary data. Okay, that data is known as a primary data. For example, data collected by National Sample Survey Organization, data of the population census of the India, the data relating to death rate, birth rate of the registrar general are called the primary data. So primary data is the very first data. If I tell you that you go and you find the birth rate of the student, you collect the marks out of 50, how many student got how many marks. Okay, if I tell you that in your school how many students you can say are vegetarian or non-vegetarian or some quality about that. Okay, so this kind of things, if I tell you to collect, you go and you collect by your own. That means that is in primary data. Primary data is the very first time you go and collect the data. What is secondary data? Secondary data is some things that which is already collected. And you will go to your class teacher and you will ask, ma'am, give me the list of marks. Now your teacher has prepared the marks. So your teacher has collected the data. So for your teacher, it is a primary data she has or he has collected. You will go and you will take the ready-made data. For you, it is in secondary data. Okay. The secondary data, that means you have not collected, but some else had put the efforts in it, and you are taking the benefit. When an investigator or agency uses the data already collected, so the data is already collected now by any other agency or investigator. So some else has collected the data. Then such data becomes the secondary data for the. For example, the data regarding birth rate and death rate in India published by Office of Registrar General of India, New Delhi, are reproduced by UN in the UN statistical abstract. So UN will take data from the India and he'll publish there. So for UNO, the data becomes the secondary data because UNO has not come to India and calculated the population, or you can say he has not calculated the death rate or birth rate. What they have done? They have taken data from the Registrar General of India. Registrar General of India has actually calculated the birth rate and death rate. So for that Registrar General of India, it is a primary data. For UNO, it is a secondary data because UNO has not put in efforts. The data collected by an agency regarding some industries of Gujarat, which are later used by the Research Institute for the statistical and become secondary data for the research student. So the difference between primary and secondary data we'll do in the next lecture. So I hope you have seen this lecture at a distance. Don't miss this lecture at all because we are going in very detail. As far as theory is concerned, it's somewhat little bit boring, but I have tried to give you the more information other than just textbook also, and I have given each and every detail of this textbook too. Okay, we have gone line by line, so we will continue this chapter in the next lecture also. Thank you.